Hey folks, it's time for another summary, the English summary. You have seen we had some issues with the two-stroke diesel engine. There was this governor system which was a little bit seized up somehow. So I did some research on Google and then I came to a video of all two-stroker. He showed how to loosen up seized plungers, the injector plungers. So that's exactly how we did it afterward. Just take off the fuel lines, flush it with some dissolvent, some cleaning agent, and after that spray some oil like WD-40 or something in there, and then the plunger, well, it was just pressed in and the spring could not move it back up, so it was pretty obvious that was the plunger we had to take a look at. I used pliers, I guess that's the correct name, and a crowbar to force it back up. It's a little bit a crude solution, but it works very well. And then when it was in the top position, I used a piece of plastic and a hammer, and then just hammer it back in, and then it just came loose. And well, that was the only plunger which was sticking, because when I loosened that one up, the governor rack or the fuel rack, it was just moving free, so there was no obstruction of any kind. Then I compressed the plungers one by one, and while moving this control rack to make sure the plungers did not stick in any other position, it was all fine. And then we took the engine out and we used some starting liquid directly in the intake. I have heard many bad stories about this, but it works for me every time pretty well. Never destroyed an engine by using that. So and it did a good job, because when we were cranking it, it somehow there was maybe air in the system, but well, then it just started up. I'm spraying some of the starting agent in the intake, and then finally it got diesel fuel, and then it was running pretty nice. Although I was not very sure about the lubrication on the rockers for the valves and for the injectors, of course. There was not a lot of oil over there. I've seen other engines which had a lot more oil at the top, but maybe it's normal for these ones. So if you are experienced, if you have any experience with this, you can leave a comment, of course, and let me know. We had oil pressure. It was 1.5 bar, I believe. What should I tell more? I think that's about it. Well, it run pretty well. Oh yes, I think there is some kind of obstruction in the diesel return line. You have this pump mechanically driven by the engine, and it keeps the diesel flowing through the manifolds connected to the injectors. But when it was on a little bit higher RPM, I wouldn't call it revving, it was not that high RPM, but at higher RPMs, then we had some diesel leaking from the seal of the filter. Thus, there was some kind of pressure building up. Maybe this filter was not tightened good or something like that. But there was some fuel leaking from the filter. Well, after that we shut it down, and that's it. I would say thank you for watching and see you next time.